Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. In the last clip, we had a catastrophic error, and it's because of my haste. It's because I hadn't put paddle R in here, and I didn't put paddle L in here, and this should bring things back to normal. So let's go and put this on the big screen and see if this is going to work. Hit play, and it's bouncing. Now the ball does always bounce to the right hand side, which we should really check out later on. So my paddle here is bouncing down. Good. And everything's moving. Good. Now, are the paddles staying on the screen? Yes, they are. Yes. Good. That's what we wanted to test. Good. So far, so good. So, what we want to do now is actually get in the ball to hit the paddles and then bounce off. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So what I have to do here is turn on my whiteboard and transition here. So I've got the board behind me. What's going to happen is there's the paddle, okay, and when the ball comes in here like this, the ball has to bounce here because it's otherwise it's going to be completely unnatural, and you could, if the ball doesn't do that, it's just going to bounce that way and then it's going to go like this across the screen. Okay, that's not what we want. We want to understand this. This is a little bit tricky. If the ball is traveling along here like this, the x speed or the x velocity, or in Makecode, is called Vx, okay, or Vy. The Vy is the speed at which it goes up and down. Okay, so the Vy 50 is 50 up. Vy minus 50 is going down, right, at the speed of 50 pixels a second, I suppose. So, our Vx here, our Vx, velocity x, is going at a certain speed, let's say 50, right? When it gets here, this is getting bigger. So there's the plus and there's the minus, okay? Down here, they kind of cancel each other out. So this is what we want. We want this diagonal to cancel each other out. The Vx along here, so here goes. My Vx is here, and so my Vx is going to be minus going that way. So it's minus Vx 50. At the same time, my Vy is staying the same. So I don't need to worry about this, whether it's going up or down. It's because that's going to cancel each other out. But what I do need to do, though, is reverse this movement here, I think. So I'm going to put my screen on the other way, and we are going to go and create this, because this is kind of how we have to speak in Makecode. All right, so we're back in our game, and above me I've got what we are going to be planning out here. So let's go and zoom in a little bit so we can go and get our ball, because we're going to need some movement in here. Let's go into our sprites, and we are going to need some overlaps in here, which are down here. So these overlaps here, let's go and put our overlaps in here. We're going to make sure as well that we can see this. So we are going to need some velocity, and we are going to need some comparators as well, so we can compare these things. Let's go and set my sprite to set my sprite x and what I want to change that to, yes, it's going to tell me that I'm incorrect. So I want my tennis ball. And also we want to go and change our other sprite to be ball. Now, in fact, we could go and move that like that. So on sprite kind of player overlaps with other sprite kind ball. We want our X to be, right, so we want our X to be our velocity X, and then we want this to wipe it out, or the other one. We want a little bit of maths, and we want to take it away, like that. So you can probably pause the video now and see if this is working for you, okay? Okay, let's go and read this. So I need to go and get my sprite with X, which is my speed, my velocity. Right, let's go and read that. So if I go and zoom out a little bit. So it's given me an error. My sprite kind player overlaps with other sprite. Actually, that's incorrect, isn't it? It's kind of ball. My other sprite, which is the ball, needs to set its speed, the Vx, which is above me, which is there. So as the ball, I'm going to draw in a highlighter just above me. So there you can see that that needs to be against that. So my Vx, yes, that's correct. So my acceleration, my velocity, my x velocity is the same, and that needs to be my other sprite as well. Ooh. Let's go and see how that plays. Right, let me go and turn my screen up behind me so we can go and play this. Now let's go and see if it's going to play it in a little window. Yeah, this is what happened to me before. Right. So this is what I was talking about when it gets caught behind it. That it's going to be completely unfair for the players who get the ball sort of behind them, but at least it is bouncing as we want it, and it is. You can see that as I move, you can see there. That's what we don't want. So what we can do is we've done this with shoot 'em ups. When you have sort of shoot 'em ups on platform games, you want your characters to appear. So there was a game ages ago called not Chun-Li and the Ten Rings, something and the Legend of the Ten Rings. There's a female character and a male character. And what used to happen was when the characters used to go through something, you wanted the blocks to appear. So when you did like a power up, you want the power up to be sort of moving around you, the sprite, the player, and then the other things around it. So if it hit the characters from the front, something, they would go that way rather than going this way. This is what we want with our ball right now. So in the next video, what we'll do is we're going to put the logics in here. So inside there, if the ball is, so let's just go through this. If the ball is here and the ball goes behind there, what we actually want it to do is, instead of it being here and going here, we want it to immediately bounce and go in that direction, which is the Vx minus and Vx plus. We want it to continue rather than being sort of bouncing around behind here. We would just want it to jump in front like that by pixel or something like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. We're going to use those the if and else, and then we can say if it's got this, then else, because we need to use it for both paddles. All right. So, oh, what a journey! as always, good luck.